Hi, my name is Gavin Noble, or Fairy Hawk, and I'm a student at Touro University completing my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. This is the video to accompany my capstone assignment at the end of my master's degree program. Before I dive into the material of my project, I'd like us to take a moment and shortly we're going to do some breathing. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to do 3 nice breaths deep into your belly. And after these 3 breaths, we'll open our eyes and then we'll do 3 more breaths while we're connecting our gaze, connecting our breathing, and then we'll move forward. So let's begin with our eyes closed. And now with eyes open, 3 nice deep belly breaths together. Nice. I'm curious if there were any thoughts that came up for you while you were doing that exercise with me. If you had any feelings come up, and if you can be honest with yourself, what those are, and is it worth your attention? Did you experience some confusion? Did you feel impatient? Were you thinking to yourself, this is not what this video is about? Well, the point of that exercise was just to emphasize the simplicity of how we can connect with our own minds and our own bodies in a therapeutic setting or on our own by ourselves, and start to learn more about ourselves, learn more of what we've learned through our conditioning, what we've learned through our families, through our friendships, what we've learned through our religious communities, what we've learned from our culture and society as a whole. These are the kinds of things that when we look at and we understand more clearly, we learn what we want to change and how we want to be different. And we learn how we've been repeating various habits and patterns based on these thoughts and beliefs and expectations and stories. The last 4 years of my life have been nothing less than transformational. At some point, I decided instead of being what I am now, 43, I was basically 0 and starting over with a whole new awareness. I had a major life event that helped me to shift my focus and really look honestly at myself and how I was behaving with others based on these beliefs, these core beliefs, and these repetitive thoughts that I had about myself. I've done so many different therapeutic activities over the last 4 years to better know myself and to therefore be a better father for my 2 children, And at the time when I was married, trying to be a better husband to improve the marriage. As this process has unfolded, it has been very clear that a lot of what I thought were my beliefs had come from my parents, had come from my peers, had come from the media, all of these sources of influence shape our reality. And a lot of times, our emotions feel foreign to us, and we can't even begin to understand why we're feeling what we're feeling when what's upstream of those feelings are thoughts and beliefs that we haven't even addressed yet. I've done a lot of work with masculine energy as well as feminine energy and finding a harmony of these two energies in me. And I believe that there's that potential for everyone. As I breathe in an acceptance that I come from this beautiful world around me. And as I exhale, I allow myself, I allow the fullness of my being as a servant of love, as a therapist, as a father, as a friend, as a brother. And I'm also practicing an unconditional positive regard. I've learned a lot from person centered therapy as a volunteer for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, having gone through a rigorous training process to be a phone interventionist. I've applied this unconditional positive regard as well as active listening to my interactions with my children and all of life. When I think back on what has worked for me, it's quite apparent that cognitive behavioral therapy was my experience of growth and healing. I wasn't calling it that at the time, but through addressing these beliefs and these patterns and all the thought processes of this monkey mind, I've learned about myself and learned why I do what I do. And I've learned how to take control and move forward with new thought processes and new beliefs and a new way of embodying a healthy masculine and healthy feminine and healthy love for myself and for others. I believe that we are all very different and unique. I also believe that we are all the same. And that might be a little confusing. It's just a core value that I have that helps me when I'm with clients, that we all go through similar struggles in life. We all have similar questions deep down in our hearts. And we all struggle with control, self control, and how we give our attention to things. And in this modern day culture of spectating and watching and entertaining ourselves, we give our attention away all the time. These devices, these screens, media, politicians, corporations, friends, everybody wants our attention, and we give it away so easily. So we learn to shift that attention from these consumers of our attention to ourselves, and we look at our thought patterns. We look at what we really believe. We look at what's upstream of our behaviors. Why do we do what we do? Right? We look at our stories and our expectations. These are all things that on a day-to-day basis, our behavior is wildly controlled by these internal thought processes. With clients, I really like to help them come into awareness of their mind and their brain, and also to come into their bodies. So that they may be present. So many times we come into therapy with our stories and our excuses for why things can't change, and all the reasons we're stuck and that we're the victim. Even with some simple breathing and awareness of ourselves and our environment, we can find peace. And as we work on this, ideally in nature as much as possible, we learn that our reality is a reflection of our own beauty, and that we can bring our own beauty into our reality. We can control our reality with our awareness of self and our practice of presence. I highly recommend resources like this book, Soulcraft by Bill Plotkin. These days, there are an amazing number of resources for cognitive behavioral therapy. Here's just one that just happened to be right here on my desk. You can see that. There are so many manualized workbooks, online resources abound. Even something as simple as Byron Katie's The Work, which is just 4 simple questions to address whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking. Is it the truth? Are you 100% sure that it's the truth? Right? There, these simple ways to question your beliefs. I'd also highly recommend Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul and Ram Dass's Be Here Now. As I move forward with clients here at Thunderbolt Counseling in Savannah, Georgia, I intend on starting sessions with that, focusing on breathing and presence with our bodies and awareness of our here and now. I look forward to all the beautiful ways that this experience of being a therapist, serving as a therapist, will blossom and unfold. I thank you very much for your time and attention today.